Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into a really provocative theory, a theory about a secret Tesla strategy that, if it's true, could just completely blindside the entire auto industry and, redefine the future of driving as we know it. So let's get right into it. So, where does this whole idea even start? Well, it kicks off with this really powerful reaction. You've got Steven Bartlett, right? Host of one of the biggest podcasts on the planet. He gets into a Tesla, tries out full self-driving, and goes on this 3-hour trip without ever touching the wheel or the pedals. And when he gets out, what does he say? He just says, "That is science fiction." Okay, so you hear science fiction, and that's already a huge deal. But here's the kicker. According to the theory we're looking at today, the really mind-blowing part, this is all happening with tech that isn't even the finished product. It's still in development. We're just at the very, very beginning here. And this is a really, really important detail you gotta grasp. The system he used, it's still supervised full self-driving. That means you, the driver, still have to be paying attention. It's like having a safety net. So think about it. If people are this blown away by the tech with the safety net, what's gonna happen when that net is finally gone? What this all creates is this huge, huge knowledge gap. I mean, the analysis we're pulling from estimates that more than 99% of the population has absolutely no clue that this level of technology is even out there, right now, on the road. And that gap, that difference between what's real and what people think is real, that's the key to this whole theory we're about to unpack. Okay, so let's move on to the next piece of the puzzle. It's what the source calls the secret in the steering. The idea here is that there's a massive clue to Tesla's real plan, and it's been hidden in plain sight this whole time, right inside the Cybertruck. You've probably seen the footage, right? A Cybertruck making these turns with what looks like almost zero effort from the driver. It makes you wonder, what is that technology? Well, it's called steer-by-wire, and believe me, it might just change everything. So what exactly is it? Well, think about a normal car. You turn the wheel, and there's a big metal rod, a steering column, that physically connects it to the tires. It's a direct mechanical link. With steer-by-wire, that's gone. Poof. It's replaced by an electronic signal. It's a lot like how a pilot flies a modern jet. It's all electronic. And why does this matter so much? Well, for one, it makes steering way easier. It also has a bunch of built-in safety redundancies, and it gives designers a ton of freedom because they don't have to build around that big steering column. But here is the absolute most important takeaway, the real bombshell. With no physical connection, the steering wheel itself can just be removed. It becomes completely optional. So you take that one little technical detail, this optional steering wheel, and it leads to this massive, massive conclusion. It's the core of the theory, that Tesla is pulling off a grand misdirection, hiding what they're really doing right out in the open. And the claim here is incredibly bold. The argument is that everyone's focus on this thing called the cybercab, the dedicated robo-taxi, is going to go down in history as one of the greatest misdirections of all time. Because the real plan, the theory goes, is something else entirely. Okay, so here it is. The theory in a nutshell. The Cybercab project, it's not really about a robotaxi. It's a Trojan horse. It's a cover to secretly develop and mass-produce a vehicle that has 3 killer features. 1, it's cheap, under $30,000. 2, it has fully unsupervised self-driving. And 3, the steering wheel and pedals, they're designed to be optional from day one. And the source then kind of paints this picture of how it would all go down. Step 1, Tesla announces this absolute game changer, a car for less than 30 grand. Step 2, they offer a super simple, all-inclusive subscription, maybe like $500 a month. And then, for the final jaw-drop moment, in places where it's legally approved, the car just drives itself to your house. No one inside. It just shows up. Now, just take a second and think about this. If this theory is even close to being right, the economic fallout would be absolutely massive. We're not talking about ripples in a pond. We're talking about a full-on tsunami that would just crash over the entire transportation industry. Let's just look at the raw numbers, because this is where it gets crazy. Right now in the US, if you've got a new gas car, you're paying around 80 cents a mile. A used car, maybe closer to 50 cents. The projected cost for this new Tesla vehicle, get this, a staggering 30 cents per mile. Yeah. 30 cents per mile. That one single number tells you everything you need to know about the disruptive power we're talking about here. Overnight, it would become the cheapest way to get around, completely shattering the economics of the entire industry. So who's in the path of this tsunami? Well, you've got the obvious ones, ride-hailing companies like Uber and Lyft, taxi services for sure. All the legacy automakers, they'd be facing a true existential crisis. But it goes even deeper than that. For millions of people living in cities, the whole concept of even owning a car could just disappear. Okay, so this all brings up a pretty big question, right? If this theory makes so much sense, if the clues are supposedly out there, then why isn't Wall Street, why isn't everyone talking about it? Why does this whole thing still feel like a kind of fringe, out there idea? Well, the source we're looking at has a name for this. He calls it huge alpha. And if you're not familiar, alpha is basically an investing term. It means you have a piece of valuable knowledge, a real insight that only a tiny group of people gets, right before the rest of the world catches on. And that's really where this whole theory lives, right inside that knowledge gap we talked about earlier. It's this core belief that there is a massive, world-changing event coming, but it's still hidden from almost everybody. And so all of this leaves us with one last pretty provocative question to chew on. You remember when ChatGPT came out, right? How it just suddenly showed the entire world what AI was really capable of? Well, could this vehicle be the ChatGPT moment for transportation? A sudden, shocking event that changes absolutely everything, seemingly overnight.